Welcome to the Hard&Soft Pro Wrestling Podcast. Yo, what's up, Hard&Soft Pro Wrestling Podcast Nation? This is my favorite thing to do. Me, the big softy here in the Soft Studios. It's okay to be soft, I have to tell you. But I am here with the man that has nothing soft about him. In fact, he is the hardest man I know. And if you're not hard, you're soft. Big Hard. Big Hard, what's going on, brother?
Damn, I don't even know if I can continue after that introduction. I mean, I feel like a movie star, superstar. I feel like $1 million right now.
Do you
the millions
and millions. Do you feel like the best in the world right now?
I am the best in the world. But honestly, it's Big Hard here. You know what we're doing. We're here for another great episode. Hell in a Cell 2022. Sorry. We're actually doing somewhat recent here. And it's Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins, Hell in a Cell. Great pick. I'll ask you why you picked this, but I already know why.
Yeah, I mean, when you say Hell in a Cell, Seth and Cody, you know what we're talking about. What a maybe the gutsiest performance of any professional wrestler ever. I mean, you had Triple H tear his quad, right, and continue. But I can't think of another wrestler that was this hurt knowing, going in and still said, you know what, there's no way I'm not going in there. My face is on the chair. My face is on the poster. I'm trying to be the quarterback. But I remember when this was live in 2022, the softy was taking a little snooze. He fell asleep like the old man he is. But I woke up, rolled over, put my phone, put my Peacock back on, loaded that Peacock back up, and as soon as I did, I was half asleep, opening up, and when I saw Cody take that damn robe off,
oh god,
it was like the biggest cup of coffee. I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
I can't believe
what is going on here.
Exactly. So a gutsy performance. It's one of my favorite matches of my lifetime. Maybe one of the most memorable. And when it's all said and done, and the softy and Big Hard are old men, just like Cody and Seth are old men, there will be podcasts and stories and books written about Cody's run, but this match. And the unselfishness of Seth to say, you know what, I know you have one arm, but I'm going to put you over.
Yeah, great. I mean, you can't say much more after that. I mean, it's literally the pec is torn off of everything, and that bruise is, I mean, and then when he came back after that, and he was in the Royal Rumble, and him and Gunther were the last two people, and Gunther is lighting him up with chops. In my head, I'm thinking like, okay, you're gonna do it again. Like, you are literally gonna chop his chest off. And this was one of those things like, yeah, Triple H tore his quad. You can't see the injury. This is like right in your face. And he's performing the whole match. And he's got to be blistering in pain the whole entire time he's out there. And he pulled through. And Seth Rollins is a pro for working with him like that too.
So if the nation is at home on the couch, if the nation is driving to work in the morning,
maybe having a Corona,
if the nation is at work and wants to take a little downtime, load that Peacock up 2 hours, 29 minutes, 45 seconds, right before Cody is going to reveal why the news media for the WWE is reporting he's not at 100%.
Yeah, 2 hours, 29 minutes, and 45 seconds. Get your Peacock ready. We're going to go over some stuff, and then we're going to have you guys hit play with us.
So, Big Hard, let's lead the nation in here. I think we got to go to Cody leaving the WWE, betting on himself, and taking to the indie scene. Now, you've never seen I've never seen a guy take to the indie scene quite like Cody Rhodes. I mean,
Oh,
Cody,
dude.
his WWE run, he was somebody, but he was a mid-card guy. In his mind, he knew he was more. He didn't know why he couldn't get to the next level. He leaves the WWE, leaves his paycheck, and probably with his dad's advice in his ear, says, you know what, I'm going to go and I'm going to work the towns, work the independents, and he does. So his last match, April 3rd, 2016, WrestleMania 32 with the WWE, that's the one where Zack Ryder, another guy that bets on himself, goes to the indie scene as Matt Cardona. Ryder wins the Intercontinental Championship in that 7-way ladder match. Cody's a part of that. Cardona, or at that time, Woo Woo Woo, gets the moment with his father in the ring. Great moment for Cardona, but he too would go to the independent scene and make a name for himself, and you see who he is now too. Cody makes his independent debut then in August of 2016. He goes against Zack Sabre Jr., wins it by submission at Evolve Professional Wrestling. So that was his debut. Probably a big shock to the crowd that, Cody Rhodes, holy shit. For the first time, you didn't see at this time a lot of WWE guys making this move.
No, and he was in New Japan too, and he was in the whole Bullet Club, which I really didn't follow, but it was a big thing over in New Japan. They had, Kenny Omega was there in the Bullet Club. A lot of the guys that are in AEW right now, Marty Scurll, I think the Tongaloa and Tamatanga, I think they were in the Bullet Club too. So, a lot of people were in that, and it stinks we never got to see Cody on the Independents.
I know, man. How sick would that have been?
Yeah, we've seen Cardona, but a couple times actually.
Yeah, and like it. When was the second time we saw Cardona? We saw him in Quakertown.
Well, saw him in Quakertown, and then we saw him versus Bully Ray.
Oh, you're right. Duh. At the 2300. Shout out SVW.
SV Dub.
So, like you said, Big Hard, Cody is making the towns, making the countries with the Bucks, Omega, the Bullet Club. And you know what? They have an idea. They say, you know what? We could run. The independents really started to take off. And especially at this time, you started seeing they just started to take off, man. Like, it wasn't just the WWE anymore. It was the WWE, and I think probably, Impact Wrestling. But also you'd see these Cardonas. You'd see Rhodes, and you started to see, remember Jericho goes to Japan and it's Jericho, Kenny Omega. You start to, the WWE audience, which we were at that time, starts to get exposed. And Cody says, you know what? I think we could sell out an arena. Now, everyone and their mother says you could never do it. So here we go. All in September 2018, they packed 11,263 fans into the Chicago Arena. All in. I mean, look at the poster. Omega, you got the Bucks.
Crazy.
You got Cody looking like $1 million. You got Okada, which I know is your favorite. And then you even have Rey Mysterio working on that show. So a lot of buzz there. Cody defeats Nick Aldis to win the NWA World Championship in the main event. That got 4 stars, which I know is the only reason they did it was for Meltzer's appreciation.
Pretty much.
This was different, man. I mean, this was the first big show. Before this, you couldn't imagine, another WCW coming in and packing an arena, and it's not Vince's show.
No, and there's no independent wrestling scene that was putting a show on for 11,000 people. I mean, we go to 2300 Arena a lot, and I mean, what do you say? Like 1,000 would be the most that would be in that building. I don't even think they hold 1,000 people. Most of these independent wrestling shows, they bring in 100 people, if that. Like we go to Quakertown, and it's the people that are there go every month. And it's like the same 100 to 150 people. We go to PPW, which is in Slatington. It's the same 100 to 150 people. So there's not really an independent show bringing in that many people, and to just bet on yourself and think like, wow, we can pack this arena. I mean, Chicago was a great place to do it. It's a great wrestling town, and people traveled from different countries to go to this show because this was like, hey, this is going to be the one time that we do something like this,
Yeah.
and this was before AEW was even thought of. So
And think about Big Hard, the amount of investment that whoever, I mean, maybe Tony was one of the investors in the show, because you got to think, we got to find a production crew. Maybe Cody knew some guys. We got to have doctors there. Maybe Cody knew some guys.
yeah,
We got to have cameramen. We got to have all that.
yeah,
Yeah. And you got to book it. So the success of All in 2018 prompted Cody, Brandy, Jericho, the Bucks, Kenny, and Tony Khan to create AEW and conjoin the American indie scene, which was so hot at the time, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. And AEW is born in 2019. The initial thoughts, Big Hard, from you on AEW?
I mean, initially it was great. I thought, this is awesome. There's a new wrestling show to watch, and they were different, which was something that people wanted. And at this time, when they first started, WWE was kind of stale, if you want to even just put it that way. That's probably giving it a little bit of credit too. They were just doing the same monotonous thing. It was crap, pretty much.
Shoving Roman down your throat, whatever Roman was saying, cutting promos. Yeah, it was terrible.
It was bad. They were just looking for anything, and AEW provided that alternative that you could watch and be excited about. And it was all these guys that you wanted to see do good finally on TV. I never saw Kenny Omega or the Young Bucks or half of these people. I never saw any of them perform. And to see them on TV for the first time, it was definitely awesome. And this time in AEW's history was just on fire.
Yeah, I mean, it was booking to the live crowd again. That's the whole thing. And it was the revolution of, we're not Vince, and we hate what Vince stands for and what the WWE has come to stand for, sports entertainment. It was the ECW one night stand every week. And you got the table spots, and you got the big matches, and you got the big moves, and again, booking to the live crowd. But initially it was so cool because you had the names. You had Jericho, you had Cody, and that was really it as far as really premier names, right? And they did such a nice job, specifically Chris Jericho, in the beginning of making other stars, letting us know who Kenny Omega was in the American scene. Who are the Young Bucks? Who is Darby Allin? Who is MJF? You started to see these other guys because you turn on and want to see what Jericho and Cody were doing.
Yeah.
But the initial programming of AEW, and Cody played such a main role in that, especially the booking aspect. He brought that 1980s NWA, 1970s style booking into the new age of wrestling. And you could really see his fingerprints all over that. And especially policing the locker room, right? And we're going to get into it. When he leaves, I mean, a lot of stuff goes down. Not saying it was all because he left, but Cody was certainly wearing a lot of hats in AEW. And what a success it was in the early days.
Yeah, it was awesome. And they're far away from that now, but Cody's downfall in AEW is like Cody began to be dejected babyface with the AEW fans. They started to hate Cody because he was basically the guy. And as much as they wanted to see him succeed, now that he is succeeding, now they didn't want him to be that guy because they had their other guys that they wanted to be on top. And Cody was not who they wanted on top anymore. And you could tell in all these matches. I mean, they're booing him, and he basically was the bottom of the barrel to everybody. And when this all started, he was the top guy. And now nobody wants to have anything to do with him. And it's like at this time, there are rumblings of the differences with Cody and AEW. Seems like it was a difference in creative and principles of where they want to take the company, and also disrespect from EVPs. So you have Kenny Omega, you have the Young Bucks, you have Cody Rhodes, and then you have Tony Khan. And all these guys have big personalities. They know where they want to be, and I think a lot of people may have been jealous of the fact that Cody was basically the top guy. And these guys thought that they are better wrestlers than Cody, possibly. You know, they're better on the independent scene. They do better stuff in ring. And Tony Khan, not to be a jerk or anything, but I think he's more of just a money guy. And he's not like a Vince McMahon where this is what we're doing. It's more like, hey, what do you guys want to do? Oh, you don't want to do this. Oh, okay. Well, I'll let you just do whatever you want. And I don't think Cody wanted to be in a company like that. I think he wanted more of a direction of where he's going. And he stepped back and he didn't go for the titles and stuff like that. So I don't know. And it's like Cody wanted to keep the vision of the revolution of pro wrestling, you know, complexing storylines, which they were not doing. Mix of the independent and big time production and a mix of old school and new school. So, and you know, it's like, I love a good wrestling match, but if there's no story being told, what am I watching for?
You need the why and the what. And honestly, I don't think it gets talked about enough how big, when we say production, what I think of production is like the hard camera and what I'm watching as a at-home viewer, but also how do the seats look? What's the ring look like? Like, I loved the independent feel. I like the independent feel and how the colors pop in the Raw Netflix era. I like the black ring with the white ropes and the black and red barriers and the red or blacked out seats. And I think AEW in its early days, the crowd was lit up, but it was also a little smoky. The ropes were black. The ring was just AEW, the logo with the white, almost grayish mat. I think where they started to lose interest is really when they tried to out WWE the WWE with the LED, all that. So yeah, like, I don't know. Go ahead, Big R. Keep going.
Well, then it's just a bunch of disrespect of Cody and Brandy. You know, it's like every time they're on TV, they're just getting booed, and I'm sure there was fallouts in the back too because Cody would not have left. Cody would not have just left the company he started just for no reason. You know, there had to be some type of issues going on backstage. And, you know, January 17th, 2022, it's reported that Cody Rhodes is working in AEW without a contract. And that was right around the time WrestleMania, you know, Seth Rollins is saying that he's got a mystery opponent. And AEW extends the contracts with the Bucks, Omega, Hangman, but not with Cody. And, you know, I think that was up to Cody if he wanted to stay or not. I don't think AEW was pushing him out the door. I think they would love to have him. And look where he is now. So, and around that same time, Bruce Pritchard sets up a meeting with Cody and Vince, who flies out to meet with Cody. So, I mean, you have actually Vince McMahon getting on a plane and going to meet with Cody Rhodes because he sees the potential now. Like, he went from Stardust to being a star.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and you could tell by the debut of Cody, it was the American Nightmare character. Now, Big Hard, what I think went into, I think it was probably a bunch of different things. Again, Cody's never badmouthed any of the EVPs there or even Tony. He still loves those guys and he wants them to succeed. I think what Cody envisioned was starting to slowly dissipate, and his kind of idea of where he wanted to take the revolution and how we can't eat each other. We all have to eat together and keep consistent kind of compelling stories. I think that was one part of it. You know, he was kind of a lone wolf probably in that aspect. And then also there was something with them and Brandy, and Cody was stuck in the middle and felt very disrespected. I think that was a big thing that we might never hear about, or maybe in the future.
Maybe a tell-all.
Yeah, but I think the big thing probably was Cody, and he said it before, he wasn't done being a pro wrestler, man. There was still gas in the tank for him, and I think he was wearing the producer hat. We're running the production meetings, booking, policing the locker room. And then he kind of became this gatekeeper wrestler that wouldn't win a world title or wouldn't, you know, he wanted to be the quarterback. He wanted to be a professional wrestler, running the towns, and slowly but surely that was kind of not his role. And I think all of that together pointed him into the decision that he made. And honestly, I never saw him coming back. And it come out that he only took this meeting with Vince because he might get some closure, man. Like they might have a talk and get some closure. But Vince
it turned into more than that.
Vince flying to your house or Vince flying to whatever spot you want, there's something there.
Yeah, so slight to then major turmoil within the locker room. So like we were talking about, there's just all types of heat going back and forth. You know, I think everybody wanted to be on top, and everybody can't be on top at all times.
And this is as Cody leaves AEW.
Yeah, this is as he's leaving. And Cody went on record in January 2022 and says that his main goal as EVP was to keep peace and a team atmosphere, and we can't eat each other. We need to eat together, which, you know, you see it all the time. I mean, like the whole CM Punk thing. I mean, it's just, you know, they chose to stick up for a guy that is barely even a wrestler against a guy that was bringing in major viewership for them. So, I mean, if they're looking at CM Punk like that, they're probably also looking at Cody Rhodes the same exact way. And programming built into pay-per-view matches, flip to wrestling matches on each show because of the drawing point. And it's just no storylines are being projected here. It's just a wrestling match for a wrestling match. And I understand that there are certain fans for that, but that if you're a TV wrestling company, you do need to have some type of reason why we're doing things. And there was no reason or rhyme behind anything at this point. So, you know, when it started AEW, it was for wrestling fans by wrestlers who have been in the business, and they think they know what the wrestling fans wanted. And it seems like it's merging into for wrestlers and Tony Khan by Tony Khan, which was like,
yeah.
You know, him reaching into his bucket of figures and being like, oh, wow, look, I have these two in my hand. I would love to see this match. So let me put this match on. And you see it still to this day. I mean, they hotshot things for no reason. And, you know, Rhodes faces Sammy Guevara in a ladder match on Dynamite January 26, 2022 in a 5-star match. He drops a TNT title, and I think that was kind of his, you know, I'm putting over Sammy Guevara. And now you see
what a cutter.
Where's Sammy Guevara at now? I mean,
I know he's Ring of Honor title champion, tag team titles with Cody's brother Dustin.
That's just horrible. You know, he's way better than being relegated to the Ring of Honor.
Sammy has tread on the tires, man. He's talented. If he could be, and I think like that's what you're gonna see with Penta. You're gonna see a toy in Tony Khan's toy box become a $1 million drawing point when he ties it all together and works the WWE style. Sammy could do that too. But as you said, Big Hard, he drops the title in AEW and he's on the move. Now, the wrestling fans do not know this yet, but at around this time, a couple weeks later, we have Mania coming up and they're starting to build Rollins versus a mystery opponent. Now, before we continue the story, we're going to hit play on this match. So we're here, Hell in the Cell, 2022, 2 hours, 29 minutes, 45 seconds at Peacock, the old Peacock. Big Hard, you ready to press play? We're going to see why Cody is not 100%, what that means, and we're going to kick this match off and then continue to tell you how we got here. Big Hard, you ready?
Yeah, Nation, we're at 2 hours, 29 minutes, and 45 seconds. So,
dude, they better be freaking loaded up.
I hope you're loaded up and ready to rock and roll. Let's go ahead and get a countdown.
1, 2, 3, play.
There we go. And you're starting off with a glimpse of the torn pec, the bruise on the chest. I mean, it looks insane.
And the swelling of the arm and Seth's reaction, he's selling it like $1 million. He's in the dusty polka dots. And the whole crowd, Big Hard, if you're watching this live, obviously we have the sound off, but the crowd's quiet because the crowd is like, you know, us like as wrestling fans, we're like, we're not processing what are we seeing. Is that makeup? What is that? We've never seen this.
Yeah, like, are you really wrestling with a pec that looks like that? Is this a fake bruise or is this a real bruise? But, so on the WrestleMania Go Home edition of Raw, WWF or WWE films a vignette where Rollins has a scheduled meeting at headquarters with Vince, and Rollins is currently without an opponent for WrestleMania. So Seth enters Vince's office. He's laughing and carrying on like he always does. And Vince is writing on his notepad, slowly turns to Seth and says, "Get your feet off my table."
Great, I thought he was going to say, "You're going to puke."
God damn it. So Vince slowly explains why he brought Seth in for the meeting. It wasn't to fire him, but it was to include him in the most stupendous two-night of WrestleMania of all time. And that was a great debut for Cody Rhodes. So, Seth asks, "Who's my opponent?" And Vince explains, "It'll be an opponent of my choosing. You know him, and when you're in the ring and he is introduced." So it's like, just go out to the ring and we'll introduce this guy and you're going to know exactly who this is. And so on night one of WrestleMania 38, Rhodes was revealed as Seth Rollins' opponent. The American Nightmare's return led to a massive crowd pop from the fans at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. And I mean, that was a huge pop and a huge fan turnout for WrestleMania 38, and great way to it didn't start off night one, it didn't end night one, but I mean, he started off WrestleMania 38 at night one, ended up main eventing night 2 of 39, main eventing night 1 and night 2 of 40, and it looks like he's going to main event this year's WrestleMania as well. So, I mean, you can't deny his ability here.
Hell no. And something too big hard. And let's real quick, he gets this injury. He's working out a couple days before the pay-per-view. He's bench pressing. He walks in with an open cup of coffee with flip-flops on, and he puts some heavy-ass weight on the bar, no warm-up, and bang. There goes his pec. And a couple guys come over. They had a little gym rivalry that morning or whatever, but they lift the bar off, and Cody does a couple tests with his doctor.
Hit with the Singapore cane here.
His pec is torn. Now, when this match starts, he hits a Cody cutter kind of right in the beginning, and he says he actually almost like threw up right there in the ring with the amount of pain. Now look at this spot with the Singapore.
He's just digging it into his chest.
And what a visual, and not for nothing, dude. Like, they played into this injury so perfectly.
Yeah,
and the match, it's not like they went out there and put 10 minutes together and protected each other. Cody did absolutely everything he could to work around his injury.
Yeah, I mean, it's just great the way that he's able to perform in this match with the way that he looks. I wouldn't even be able to get out of bed.
And you talk about, you can't deny Cody's ability. Let's not forget, Big Hard. Like, you got Roman, and he moves merch, but who moves more merch than Cody? You got, just like Paul Heyman said on Logan Paul's podcast last night, you got the weight belts that he signs. You got the robes, the T-shirts. Cody's signing stuff. He's at every media outlet possible. He does every show and then some on his days off. The guy is the quarterback, and he's been doing it for a while.
Yeah, he's killing it, and the crowd loves him. They do the whoa. There's no backlash on Cody right now at all. I think there could be, possibly in the future. I think this year at WrestleMania they might want to take the title off him, because I think they're going to get to a point soon where the fans are going to turn on Cody, because he's been on top for 3 years in a row now. But I don't know. There's so many kids out there that love him, and I think he's going to be the next John Cena type superstar where, the fans my age in their 40s boo him, but the people 20, 25 and under are just going nuts for this guy. So, and I would only boo him just to do it. Because I can't say that I don't like Cody Rhodes. It's just, I also don't want him to be on top for 5 years in a row. But he deserves it, man.
I think time will tell, but the future will tell us. A lot of young kids are going to get into wrestling because of Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
And a lot of 5 and 10-year-olds right now will grow up to be 20, 25-year-olds and say their favorite wrestler growing up was Cody. He's kind of Hulk Hogan.
And this is their third match in their trilogy, and I think Cody Rhodes beats them all 3 times.
Yep. Like you said, Big Hard, the first one, they go 21 minutes at Mania, 4.5 stars. Then they go to Backlash 2022. They get another 4.5 stars. Cody gets put over again. And now we're here, Hell in a Cell 2022. Rhodes is the main event. He's the main guy, only guy on the pay-per-view poster. Tears his pec, and he's not a hundo, but he still competes. And, when you talk about Cody being the next Cena, I really think that's probably where they're going to go. Not for Mania, but at some pay-per-view where it's Cena's last match. I think title or no title, and probably still going to have Cody as champion, so you can play into the 17-time champion for Cena. But I'd like to see Cena's last match be with Cody and go out there and put on a performance that would make Cena proud and can go out on top, but put Cody over and pass the torch in a way that I think they could be a little different. What I'd like to see, instead of, the handshake at the end or taking the boots off and leaving them in the ring, I'd like to see Cena take the armband off and hand it to Cody, and Cody put it on. You're the new quarterback. You're the new John Cena. You are the new man. I like to see that kind of passing of the torch, and I think it would be a great moment in professional wrestling. As we see Seth putting on the robe of Cody, wearing the pants of Dusty, and pulling out the polka-dotted weight belt.
With his name on it, the Visionary. That's great. That's a good weight belt. I totally forgot about that spot. But so this pay-per-view was Sunday, June 5th, 2022. It was at the Allstate Arena, Chicago, Illinois. 12,834 people in attendance. So big numbers here. We had Bianca Belair defeating Asuka and Becky Lynch in a 3-way for the Raw Women's title. That got 4 stars. So pretty good for Mac and Cheese. Bobby Lashley defeated MVP and Omos in a handicap tag match. Got a 1 3/4. Kevin Owens defeated Ezekiel, which where the hell did he go? 2 1/4 stars. We had man,
the torn pec. He's gonna take a chop from the weight belt from Seth, and he laid it.
Oh God, that was horrible.
Now think about the nuts on Cody. He's got his look at this, and he lets them do it. Think about the nuts you gotta have.
Yeah, to even let you do that in the match, it's like, yeah, maybe I don't want to do that spot. I don't know.
And it's almost getting to the point where it's almost It's almost self-indulging at some point. Like, I'm so injured, let's make this so graphic and gnarly. The fans are almost like, all right, enough's enough.
Yeah, they don't like. I was almost sitting there like, okay, like just end this match, please. I don't want to see Cody get even hurt even more than he is right now.
I think the only time before this, Big Hard, the hardest shoot brother I know, God damn it, the only thing that reminds me of this, now Cody's already over, and there's so much equity in the American Nightmare character at this point, but the only thing that reminds me of this is if you flash it back to ECW, probably 95, when you had a young baby face by the name of Tommy Dreamer, who had a couple fans here and there that wanted to love this guy, and Paul E. saw something in Tommy that no one else saw, and the Sandman brought it out of Tommy, where they did the Singapore cane, the live caning, which was a political thing at the time. Someone, I think, in the world was going to get caned for a punishment. And they did it there live at the ECW arena. And the fans saw that this Tommy Dreamer character kept getting up and up and up. And they said, stay down. And he kept saying, sir, thank you. May I have another? It's almost like that, you know?
Yeah, this is just, now he's got him set up on the top rope. Got the table set up in the middle of the ring.
I'm sure chops feel good.
oh God, I'm sure that has to be horrible. Uh-oh. Got the superplex being set up right here. Cody Rhodes in all this pain. Oh, he's blocking it though.
The
Turning
only
it into a power bomb through the table here.
the only thing that would make this better is a not red Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, this was the era with the red cell. Kind of, not kind of, very corny.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I do not like it. The look of it is pretty lame. The black cell that just came back this year with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, that was way better. Oh my God, he went for the frog splash to the table and missed, put himself through the table. And this was about the time when the Judgment Day started up. We had Damian Priest and Edge and Rhea Ripley defeating AJ Styles, Finn Balor, and Liv Morgan in a 6-person tag, 3.5 stars. Now that's a weird team right there. AJ Styles, Finn Balor, Liv Morgan. I don't know if this is the same night that Finn Balor teamed up with Judgment Day or not, but I think this is right around that time because right when Finn Balor joined is kind of when they kicked Edge out.
What does Finn do? He turns on AJ or something?
Yeah, I thought he turned on AJ, but I'm not sure if this is the same night. Here's the match that I really want to go back and watch. Madcap Moss defeated Happy Corbin in a no holds barred match, and
I love it.
And Dave gave this 3.25 stars.
What the heck?
I mean, that's pretty crazy. And we got
Dude,
a duffel bag
Madcap
here.
Moss has some tread on the tires too.
Yeah, he does. And here we go. We got the cowbell memory of Dusty Rhodes right there. So we had Austin Theory defeating Mustafa Ali for a WWE United States Championship. That got a 3.25. And Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins Hell in a Cell match got 5 stars. So out of 3 matches that they had this year, 4.5, 4.5, 5 stars. So these two have chemistry together.
Oh yeah, and Big Heart, what do you if you're gonna do a star scale for professional wrestling matches, what are you looking for if you're gonna give something 5 stars? What's your playbook here?
I mean, it has to have some kind of story in the match. So it can't just be move for move for move for move. The moves are definitely going to give you an edge, though. But like this match right here, okay? So now they're putting the rope on. Now it's like they're going into a bull rope match in a Hell in a Cell match. Seth Rollins has the weight belt with the Dusty Rhodes polka dots with the Visionary on it. It's like there's just so much story in this match. You have the Peck, everything. It's like why did Seth Rollins just put this thing around his arm? You know, it's like this is just storytelling at its finest, where they're bringing past, present, and future into this match. So I think it takes a lot, and this is a 5-star match, and I kind of find it weird, you know, Dave Meltzer's 5-star ratings when he goes over the 5 stars. I mean, if it's a 5-star rating system,
Yeah,
if the match is just great, it's just a 5-star match. It doesn't have to be above a 5-star, but this match definitely deserved a 5-star. And I can't believe WWE had Cody Rhodes just beat Seth Rollins 3 times in a row. Like, clean every time. It just baffles me.
And then they create the title for Seth to take because he's been working his tail off and he wins the world heavyweight and then puts Drew over. And Seth was one of the main players when it's all said and done, WrestleMania 40. I mean, you had Rock, who really made it, but you had the Cody story and finishing the story. But Seth working on a torn up knee and a torn up back and a torn up neck, and going out there and working both nights. And
oh boy, here he goes. He's about to try to pull Cody Rhodes into that turnbuckle. Oh my God, he put his pec like right into the turnbuckle. It's like you're looking at this as it's going on, and you're just like, just stop the damn match. This guy's got a family. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Come on already. It's,
like I said, at some point it just becomes too much.
He's already taken too much beating here. It's insane. I don't know what else you can do at this point to put this guy down.
For me, Big Hard, it's to me the last part of it for a 5-star match from the Softy is going to be the actual professional wrestling moves in the ring. For me, that's last on the list. for me, when it comes to that, it is the wrestling match has to match whatever story you are telling. I think some of the worst stuff I see is when two guys have a blood feud and have to be held back from each other, and security is in the middle of them, and this and that, and then they go to have their match, and it's flippity doodahs. If you have a blood feud, it's got to be.
Yeah.
But the number one thing for me, Big Hard, is the emotion and the drama that you create in that match. Now, that match is going to be used as an extension of whatever story you are trying to tell and the story you've told leading up, right? But it's whatever, strikes the chord in you as you see a big crossroads from Cody.
Oh, big crossroads.
And a 2 count.
He blocked the table shot. Yeah, you're not going to get him with one crossroads. We know this by now. Takes about 2 or 3.
But a 5-star match for me, Big Hard, is the big pop at the end, the crying in the crowd, the angry, blown up eyes from the guy that didn't think that Undertaker would ever lose. It's that reaction. Mm-hmm. So it's the story leading in that's got to be top notch. You got to tell me the why and the what. I have to believe, like, I want this guy to win, this guy to lose, but I don't know which way you're going to go. The physicality in the ring has got to match, and then the blow-off ending. I think, personally, if we watch Terry Funk versus Onita in the exploding death match, you watch the match and you're like, this kind of sucks. But the ending of Funk, Onita's protege, is laid out in the middle of the ring, and Onita has beaten his arch rival, and the ring's about to explode, and the timer is going off, and it's counting 10, 9, and Terry won't move. And Onita jumps in there and blocks the explosion, and they get up, and they're crying, and the crowd's crying. To me, that's 5 stars. You did it.
Yeah, that's storytelling at its best. And
oh, nasty.
Oh my God, is he gonna do the corner bomb through the table?
Look at Cody
with the pain that he's in. It's just like.
And that's another thing that I love in professional wrestling, when it turns into real. And by real, I mean, and that's why I love Cactus Jack, because Cactus would so literally show you that he is working his ever-loving tail off, giving you his body to entertain you. And when it becomes where as a fan you're looking there like, these guys are killing each other, these guys are working so hard for us, that's 5 stars. And this is one of those, man. You look at Cody, there's no sell job there. That's all real. He is pushing himself to get through this damn thing.
He doesn't even need to sell this at this point. You know what I mean? He is just in that much pain that it just comes across his face. You can just see it. And I'm sure when this match is over, he is so relieved that he is done for right now. It's like, I don't want to even get in the ring at this point. Seth Rollins got his arm cut open there.
Well, and
he's almost looking like, what do I have to do to put this guy away?
And Big Hard, you got to understand that Cody cannot sell it too much, because if Cody throws up in the ring, or Cody is obviously cannot continue, Vince is going to get in the ref's ear and say, go home. So Cody's got to sell, but fake it a little. So not sell totally. It's just like, what a spot for.
It almost looks like right there, like he's about to puke. He's got the sledgehammer. And it's like, it's bringing shades back of Rollins in the corporate Rollins era, where he was with Triple H. And here we go. We're bringing in the sledgehammer. And it's like, hey, remember when Cody Rhodes took the sledgehammer to the throne in AEW, and, basically symbolizing taking Triple H out? It's like that type of storytelling, just on top of everything else they've already done in this match, is just top notch.
Yep. And now a pedigree. Now, oh, Jesus. How do you get. And now
And Cody Rhodes hits him with the pedigree. It's like.
Cody's got to get in and out of the pedigree with his torn pec. And look at the crowd. You got grown men in the crowd that know this is a wrestling business, but they're like, what the?
They're so invested in it at this point that they don't. they are like amazed that, okay, I thought that was it. Cody just hit him with the pedigree. That's it. Nope, that's not it, folks. We're still in for a doozy here.
And I really want to see Seth with the world title. There's not another company guy that's done so much, and he just put Punk over. I mean, he's got to win a world title.
I think he needs a big Mania moment this year. He deserves it. He doesn't need it, I'll say. He deserves it.
If not this year, next year, he's got to win the title.
He puts his body on the line, and he is so good. He works the crowd. Just the stuff he puts into his character work alone, and he's great on the mic. And you could see it. I mean, a lot of people would have been frazzled in that CM Punk Seth Rollins promo they did on the last Raw in USA. And for him to hold his own in that ring, I don't care if it was completely scripted or not. There are points in that where Punk was coming at Seth Rollins that it's going to throw you off. Oh my God, here we go. Curb stomp. And Seth Rollins held his own. And look, Seth is trying to crawl over. He's got to get over there. Took too much time, though. Cody had enough time in him to be able to kick out of that.
And I don't think we marked down who's on commentary, but I think it's Corey Graves and Michael Cole. And they're doing it. And I can just remember them doing a great job on commentary. Yeah. Stay down, Cody. Stay down. Enough's enough.
Yep. God damn it. Stay down, Cody.
Now, when Cody finally, goes and gets his surgery done, as soon as they open him up, blood squirts everywhere. Now, if you remember, Big Hard, the next night after this, Seth says, "You're the toughest dude I've ever met, and your father, Dusty Rhodes, would be extremely proud of his baby boy." And as soon as he gets done with that, he shakes Cody's hand, goes through the curtain, and then comes back out with the sledge and bloodies Cody up and completely turns on him, rips his shirt. I don't know if he bloodied him up, but he tore his shirt off, showed the package, and just completely turned heel again.
Seth hit the crossroads, but now Cody reverses the second crossroads. Okay. That was pretty sick. So Seth hits him with a crossroads. Cody, he picks him up. He's about to try to hit him with another crossroads, but Cody reverses that into a crossroads of his own. But he can't get to the cover. So he's too hurt right now that he can't get to the cover. But that was a great spot. And yeah, he put him out of commission then. So I think Cody Rhodes was out until the Rumble at this point.
Yep.
So
number 30. And
he came back at the Rumble, and like I said, that whole him and Gunther at the end, I thought Gunther was winning that Royal Rumble.
They had a freaking match. They had like a 10-minute match after that.
Like going into it, I thought Cody Rhodes is coming back. He's definitely winning the Rumble. And then when Gunther was just lighting him up with chops and just the way that they were putting on a wrestling match inside of the Royal Rumble. Oh my God. He went for the sledgehammer hit. Cody hits him with a crossroads, picks him up, hits him with a second one.
And now
he's picking him up.
Cody tried the sledge before, didn't have the strength in the arm to pick it up. Now he hits crossroads and he's going back to the sledge and he's got to Hulk up for this.
He could have hit him with the third crossroads and he let Rollins go.
Bam.
He wants to end it with this.
Bag of potatoes.
Right to the face.
As Pat McAfee would say, right to the mouth.
He's going for the cover. 1, 2, 3.
Now, what do you think they're saying to each other right now?
He's probably like, "Thank you, Seth. I love you. Thank you for everything you just did there. I need to get to the back because I am dying right now."
And what's your Waffle House order?
I would probably say it's double waffle, double order of bacon, some grits with butter on top of them, and definitely a big old glass of orange juice.
Oh, you love the orange juice, huh, there, Big Heart?
Love me some orange juice.
Now
that was a great match, though. I mean,
Cody's arm is twice the size of it when he even started the swelling.
Yeah. Yeah, that match was just amazing. I can't believe that they actually were able to go through with a almost 25-minute match.
Yeah.
And
gutsiest performance in professional wrestling history. The Hard&Soft had the studios had to cover something like that. I'm glad we did it, Big Hard.
And the story, it ends with the sledgehammer shot. Cody Rhodes breaks the throne in AEW with the sledgehammer.
Right.
And here he is, third match against Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins was a Triple H guy.
Yep.
Ends it with the sledgehammer shot. I mean, that is storytelling right there, like 5-6 years in the making, almost from the time he left when he wasn't acknowledged as a superstar to being back in WWE and being on top. So this is just great storytelling. It just revolves. It never stops.
Speaking of great, you're listening to the Hard&Soft Pro Wrestling Podcast. If you're not hard, you're soft.
You're damn right,
brother.